Greetings in the name of His Imperial Majesty, a Scott Talk. All praise to the Most High, Jah Rastafari. Awasam boy, I feel like. Welcome back to another episode of the Love Zone. Chopping it up on the couch with me is the beautiful, the gorgeous, the Royal Empress, Leline.
Hello, Ace. Hi, everyone. Welcome back to the Love Zone.
How you doing, beautiful?
I'm really good. How are you?
I'm doing absolutely fine. And just to remind the listeners at home, Leline is our resident counselor. So, guys, I want to thank everybody that's been sending in your Ask Us emails. Do you want to just tell them the email address again?
Yeah. Ask us at the-lovezone.co.uk.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. So, guys, if you've got any relationship questions and you want to ask us, send us an email and we'll be sure to read them out.
Anytime dilemmas as well.
Dilemmas,
yeah.
You know, whatever the case may be. And I just want to put a disclaimer out. Even though you're a resident counselor, the advice you're giving out on tonight's show is not counselling.
No, it's not counselling.
But if anyone does want to speak to a professional counsellor, we've got a team of over 20 professional counsellors on standby to take your call. So shout out to everybody at Support for Progress. Shout out to all the girls down there doing an amazing job. And also, I also want to highlight, we also offer domestic violence, abuse and support. So anyone who's suffering from domestic violence abuse and they want support, very discreet service, get in touch with us. The email address is just rolling across the bottom of the screen. There's info@realtalkradio.co.uk, and if you go to the website, it's just rolling across the bottom of the screen, www.realtalkradio.co.uk. Click on help service. You've got a list of all our services there: counselling, food aid, domestic violence, advocacy, and the list goes on. Anyway, back to tonight's show. So once again, I want to say thanks to everybody that's been interacting with us on the Instagram, on the Facebook, on all the social media platforms, guys. We've been inundated on your comments, right? And once again, you guys have sent in your videos tonight, so we're going to be playing out a few of those clips. And after tonight's show, we're going to upload the videos onto our Instagram, guys, so you can go and watch back the clips that we played on tonight's show, and you can put your comments on there as well. Do you want to tell us? We've got a new Instagram, haven't we?
Yes, it's the Love Zone 2020.
Just one more time.
The Love Zone 2020. The
Love Zone 2020. So be sure to share, subscribe, like. Also, you guys can follow me on my Instagram, which is A Scott Talk. I'll be uploading the clips of tonight's show on my own platform as well, A Scott Talk, and you can put your comments below. Also, don't be sure to subscribe to MediaNet TV. Shout out to MediaNet TV. Big up MediaNet TV and the producers and the whole team working, 24/7 around the clock, night and day, to keep this magic happening. But so later on, we're going to be playing some clips, guys. We've got about 7 clips to get through. I want to shout out to everybody that sent your clips in tonight. Thank you very much. But first, you guys, we're going to read out some of your emails and your comments. So tonight, the theme of tonight's show is
dating sites, dating apps, dating sites, yes or no.
Dating sites, yes or no. But also, we asked a question last week, sex before marriage, and so many people commented on the Instagram, and we're going to go and on the social medias. We're going to read out 1 or 2 of those comments now, aren't we?
Yeah, it was a great show last week. We had Nicola on and we were talking about sex before marriage, and yes, we have some comments back after that. Should we read it now?
Go for it.
Okay. So one of the comments we had after that was saying sex before marriage sets a bad precedent for family structure. It is the action of those who lack sexual self-discipline and foresight of its significance in the bigger picture of things. Put another way, would you want your daughter to sleep with a man who will not commit to her, who has no problems sleeping with other women too, who may not be too interested in raising a child with your daughter if she accidentally becomes pregnant, which means you, as the father, will then need to help support her as the man is now gone about his business. Would you be okay with these future events? Foresight thinking means to think far beyond the short-term moment of pleasure sex provides. Foresight thinking means you fully understand the responsibility of your role and demonstrates respect of the woman and her life, her dreams, her goals, her mind, her body, and her royalty.
Brilliant. Brilliant. I want to say a big thank you out to the gentleman who sent in that message. I thought that was such a powerful statement that we had to read it out. And guys, we keep the anonymity of all of you guys that send in your emails, etc., unless you personally say you want us to mention you. So we'll keep the anonymity. What's your thoughts on that?
It's interesting. I don't think we were trying to promote sex before marriage, but we have to not be hypocritical about this. We know that people are having sex before marriage. So my stance, and I believe is your stance as well, is that we're trying to educate people into having respect for themselves, choose wisely.
Definitely.
But this comment is quite interesting because it mentioned about, would you want a man to sleep with your daughter? It didn't mention, would you like your son to be going and sleeping with other girls and things? So that point of view, you know me, I'm always going to think about it from that point of view as equality. So we know that young people have sex. We know that people have sex. I don't know about you, but I know as a young person before marriage, I had sex. So I don't know this person, but it could be that they had sex too. Are we saying that no one should have sex before marriage? There are some people also who are not married, but are in a very long-term relationship, have been together for many, many years and quite happy in their relationship, but are not married. So I think it's about choosing wisely. Obviously, opt for long-term relationships if that's what you want. So choose wisely, find out about that person. As we said, know yourself, know who that person is, choose wisely. You know. But I don't know if we can just say, no, you mustn't have sex before marriage, because I don't want to be hypocritical. What about you?
I think, see, each one of these topics is never black and white.
No.
And once you go down that rabbit hole, there's many more tunnels.
Yes.
And then each tunnel opens up more tunnels. It's just a labyrinth. And for me, I'm just on an exploration. You know, so it's a journey of the mind. It's a journey of exploration, and it's just minds coming together and communicating and sharing ideas philosophically. Because you touched on a very interesting point there about couples that are in long-term relationships that are not married.
Yes,
that opens a whole nother dynamic. And then if we go the complete opposite way and we talk about, if we said, right, it must be sex, it must be marriage then sex, then you look at arranged marriages and how well they work.
Some.
Or don't work. This is what I'm saying.
Yes.
Do you understand me? So
yes.
Is there ever a right or a wrong?
Well, this is what I mean. I don't want to be hypocritical by saying, you know, there shouldn't be sex before marriage. I can't say that because I didn't do that. So I understand the principle behind this about sexual discipline, but we have to be realistic then. We have to be realistic. So I'm on that path of let's educate people to choose wisely, to educate themselves, about what their needs are, about what their wants are. Find out who that person is before you go and indulge in any intimacy with them.
You see, this particular subject is an interesting one, and I think the narrative that we came from last week was, what does it look like now? because we're in 2020 and things have changed in terms of people's expectations. The way people even value relationships has changed a lot. You know,
Yes.
if you go back 50, 60 years, you met somebody and you was with that partner for life, and that was it. And as we move forward, you know, through the noughties into the millenniums, like everything, things have become more disposable, and we have been programmed that way. You know, let me land on this. This is an iPhone, and every year they bring out a new iPhone, iPhone 7, iPhone 8, iPhone 9, iPhone 10. Every minute they're bringing out new updates, update the software. So we have been programmed that to think very short term. You know, use this today, tomorrow it's no good. But technically, there's nothing wrong with this. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I believe that has leaked into relationships. And relationships are not valued as, you know, people don't meet each other and look at people as not necessarily always long-term partners now. Do you understand where I'm coming from?
I do understand what you're coming from, but again, it goes back to value. And you say about, you know, years ago people met and stayed together, but remember there was a period, the 60s, of free love. Do you remember that? Free love.
Sorry, sorry, darling. The 60s. I'm not old enough. I'm sorry. Sorry.
I'm not
free love.
saying,
Yeah,
I'm not saying,
where you at? 80, look,
I'm not saying I was experiencing free love in the 60s, but I'm just saying there was a time in the 60s where people were indulging in free love. They weren't having long-term relationships and things like that.
Elaborate. What's free love?
Free love was what people called the hippie love thing. You know, it's all about, you know, you don't have to be owned, you don't have to get married, you can just shack up with somebody. You could be with them for life, but it was free love. It was less of the institution of having to be married and things like that, you know. So that's what that part, that time was about. What I think has happened now is that through a lot of media, music and everything like that, it's sold as an easy thing. Sex is sold.
Brilliant.
Yeah, it's just out there, and you know, some people say that women are degraded on videos and things like that.
100%.
So how
100%.
so how the viewing of women is, it has gone downhill. So
100%.
this is what I'm saying. So the young people may be thinking that is the norm, because remember, they're growing up seeing this.
Definitely.
And understanding it differently.
Definitely.
So our duty is to actually put them back in the way of looking at who they are.
100%. And I love that, sis, because especially in our culture, I'm sick to death of hearing our sisters being called bitchs in every single rap song. And we know, and this is the love zone, we're not going to get too deep, but we know that it's been engineered that way, where rappers are rewarded for degrading our women in their music. And I'm even sick to death, right, in going to clubs, right, and seeing women dance to those tunes and like bubble. I remember there was a song back in the days by Ludacris, right? It was called Move, B-I-T-C-H, get out the way, get out the way, get out the way. And that's the lyrics by Luke, move. And you want to see the girls going mad in the club when that song come on. And they're all singing it, move. And I'm thinking, do you understand? So it's about, like you said, changing that narrative.
Absolutely.
And I remember, like me, I don't. What did you say? Free love in the 60s. I were around that as them time there. But,
I wasn't around doing that either, but I'm aware of it.
But I remember I grew up to like my parents and my grandparents playing bare lovers rock, and it was all the songs that they played was about man loving a woman, and it was all about the love and the respect and the love and how you felt, and so that's how I was programmed.
Okay,
you understand what I'm saying? But this new trend of music is about, you know, I heard the way some of the stuff that people say in the tracks of what they were like in the bedroom with a women is quite insulting. And then it goes back to that thing. I'm thinking, would you like someone to treat your sister like that in the bedroom?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Would you like someone to treat your mum like that in the bedroom?
Absolutely.
How dare you treat a woman like that in the bedroom?
Yeah.
Do you understand? It's
So then,
the act that you're told. It's not only just sold now in music. It's actually sold it's actually sexual abuse. Some of the things that people are rapping about, you don't treat a woman like that. You know, do you know what I'm saying?
Absolutely. So then we're educating We're educating the young people. We're educating the men, the young men. That's not the way to treat women. And we're educating the young women. That is not for you. It's not how you should be treated. It's not the right way to go. If that's what you like, I can't stand in judgment of anybody. You know, people can do what they want. But ideally, understand what you're doing. Understand what you're doing, understand why you're doing it.
Yeah, but I'm conscious of time, so I'm not gonna labor this too much more. But I believe that, unfortunately, for some of the young girls, if that's all they know, that then becomes the norm in their psyche. So they don't know any different.
Yes, this is why I'm saying we have to get the message out there, educate them. What is it you actually want? What do you get from this? How does it make you feel?
It goes back, and I really didn't want to go back, but it goes back to we talked about sex, love, and intimacy, identifying what the difference is between making love to someone, having sex with someone, and intimate. Because some people think sex is intimate or sex is a way of showing love. Do you know what I mean? But I'm gonna should we pause it here because I'm conscious of time.
Okay.
And guys, as usual, you know, I'm gonna check some of the comments and see what you guys have got to say. But what's your comments coming in? What do you feel? How do you guys feel about what me and Lilene have discussed? What's your take on it? We're always interested to hear what you guys got to say because this is about you. It's not about us. Yeah, it's about you. What have you got to say? So keep your comments coming in, and we'll read out a few of those comments later. But hey, what now? This is jokes, right? My darling, Lilene, Lee, all right? She's been out and about with a camera this week, right? She's been a busy girl. So Lee was out with the camera, and you was out with your, she had the camera out this week, and you've been stopping young ladies on the street. And what's the questions you was asking them? I
was asking them about dating websites. Are they for or against it? Yes or no?
Right. And this is a big subject, guys. So we're going to start this. This is the warm-up this week. But I know, right, that we're not going to finish this conversation this week, yeah? And next week, we're going to have some guests who are going to come in and talk about dating websites because I could spend an hour without playing any clips, just me one. I thought, well, what's wrong with it? Right, what's wrong with it? But we're gonna get right with it. What's wrong with it? But we're gonna get into that later. So we're gonna hear from some of our viewers. Lee's been out on the street asking some young ladies out on the street what do they think about
ladies.
Dating.
Thank you for
dating websites. Do they use dating websites? Do they use dating apps? What's their experience with it and all that? And next week we're gonna have a guest come in and they're gonna tell us what their experience is. For now, let's get the first clip up and then we'll start chopping it up. And as usual, guys, keep your comments in while the clips are rolling so we can see what you guys think at home.
Okay, so hold on. Hello, ladies. Thank you for agreeing to be on the Love Zone. I have a question for you. Dating websites, yes or no? What's your opinion?
Yes and no at the same time, I would say. My reason is because I've been on quite a few of them, like Tinder, Badoo, Hinge, so many of them I can't even remember anymore. And for me, it all depends really what you're looking for. Some of them are really bad, like Bumble and Badoo. I've been on them and they're like mainly for women to match the men, but the men never talk. And most of the men are just like like their preferences is just really weird. And then for Hinge and Tinder, Hinge is like more like for people who want to settle down, which is really good. But at the same time, there are quite a few men on there. They don't really know what they want. They're just looking for like a pretty girl to just be with, or someone to like keep them company or something like that. And then Tinder is mostly for the fuck boys. And you can find a good guy there. It depends really on what your mind is, what you really want. But for me, I think they're all the same, really. I mean, you either find it or you don't.
So what's your thoughts on that?
Well, I think she's quite right. You know, she's had experience of going on there. She finds that it's that yes or no. You know, there's good points and there's bad points. What's your thoughts on it? Because you're not even looking at me now. Your face is going the other way. What is your thoughts?
We're going deep now. And this is a holistic thing. Yeah, third eye wide open, pineal gland not calcified. It takes 20 years to program somebody. Yeah, so I'm still at an age where I remember when we didn't have mobile phones. I remember when the first mobile phones first came out, the little Motorola flip phones, the 301s, Mercury. You know, I remember speaking to some young people recently in their 20s and talking about CDs, and they said, "What's a CD?" And what my concern is the new norm
Yes.
is losing a lot of that human interaction which we once had. And I often talk about this. It's like, you know, it's like when you're in the presence of somebody and you're making eye contact, you know, and you can feel the energy and the pheromones are, you know, flowing. You know, there's a lot that can be had from that interaction. And we're now living in a world where we are being encouraged more and more to distance ourselves. You know, the big buzzword at the moment is social distancing. And I'm not a fan of online dating because it is, for me, unnatural. And my thing is, I remember having this conversation a few weeks ago with Yvonne Michelle, and she said it's not an either or. And my thing is, we're used to doing things one particular way. Somebody else comes along and creates another way, and now we have an option. But why did that have to be an option? It's only an option if we buy into it. We fuel into the idea. What I'm saying is, if they had these online dating sites and nobody used them, it would crash just like Yahoo. Do you know what I mean? Just like MySpace. But these sites are only thriving because people use them. And I'm saying we shouldn't, and like these youngsters, that's all now they know. So they're losing a lot of those soft skills.
I hear what you're saying, but I am kind of on the same path as Yvonne Michelle. It's a bit of both. You're saying it's unnatural, yeah? It's unnatural, but all things new that come in is going to look at it, oh, that's unnatural because it's a new way of doing things. We are not saying that it should just be the dating app and they have to meet at some point. It's an introduction.
Right.
And if you look at it as an introduction...
Have you finished?
No, I haven't finished. You had quite a bit of a time there. You look at it as an introduction of finding out about people, a way to meet people. That's all it is. It's a way to meet people.
All right. Let me drop some gems. Boom. When someone starts a sentence by saying, "I hear what you're saying," right? You know that means they're not really agreeing with anything you're saying. So no, that was, you just, I hear what you're saying, but right. So that's rule. So anyway, what now? Once again, and this is why I know this is an uphill battle for me, because that's why I started by saying third eye wide open. Yeah, pineal gland not calcified. Because this type of knowledge, if I keep it surface, ha 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 ha, but when ACE goes up again, I'm gonna lose people. Because you have to go up, you have to be ready to go up the level with me. It's not an either or, right? There are natural ways of doing things that have been going for hundreds of thousands of years. And now we're living in 2020. Yeah, that's why we asked the question last week. That was the night. Sex before marriage. What does it look like in 2020? Now, here we're talking about online dating. We're now living in Cyborg City, where every interaction, there needs to be some type of AI technology involved. And I'm saying it doesn't need to be that way. So there's no either or. Yeah, because 20, 30 years ago, before we had the internet, we wouldn't have been having this conversation.
No, we wouldn't.
Exactly. So my thing is, let's not now, because we've got the internet in place, it's a tool. But it doesn't need to take away every single type of, it doesn't have to govern every area of our life.
You don't have to only use dating websites, but you have to understand, if people aren't going out as much,
there we go.
If people are just in work, and
there we go.
It's a way of meeting people. It is an introduction. It is,
and
not,
that's the Jedi mind trick.
No.
That is the Jedi mind trick, because I've heard all of those cliche things. Oh, I don't go out. There's no meeting people.
It's like saying we shouldn't really have mobile phones. Really, we shouldn't really have that. We should be using the bloody pigeon. Because oh baby, just
send it by carrier pigeon.
I'll just use the drums, maybe. What I'm saying is, we have to embrace that we have moved into new times, but it doesn't have to take away our interaction with people.
But it
We
does.
still no, it doesn't.
It does.
You still have to have a conversation with people.
Let me break
You still have to meet. This is just a way of meeting somebody. I think what happens is this.
Let me,
Okay, no, you go on.
you sure?
Yeah,
You
yeah,
sure?
yeah. No,
You
no,
sure?
go, no, go.
I want to be polite
No,
about
no,
this.
it's all right. You go.
No, I don't want to be polite. You sure?
No, it's fine.
All right, boom. You're saying it's just a way of meeting people. It's not, because you go into a bar,
Yes.
yeah, you look at somebody, straight away you know whether you're attracted to that person or not. Yeah, some people won't even get past that conversation. The amount of people I've surveyed for the last year as a radio presenter and asked so many people that are now coupled up in relationships, would you have been with that person had you met them in the bar? They said no. The barriers are being broken down. Yeah. Now what I'm saying is this: I'm an alpha male. I'm confident. I remember the days of being you have to be confident to go out and approach a lady. If you ain't confident, you ain't got no chance. If you ever, and then not only do you have to have the confidence, but when you now approach her, you first have the confidence to approach her. Now you've got to have the game and the skills to engage this young lady in conversation. Hold on, wait for it, right? And charm her enough for her to think, you know what, this guy's intellectual and charming enough for me to want to actually give him my number and possibly go on a date with him. That takes a lot of work. I'll wait for it. Then you have to have the presentation skills. Yeah, because you can't walk up to a woman and your armpits stinking of BO. You've got to be fresh. You've got to present yourself well. There's a whole thing that goes with that. I'm from that generation.
Okay.
Now, hold on. Now, when you do this keyboard warrior stuff, yeah, right, these are a lot of, and I know guys, I've seen it, men with women, and I think, how did you get with her? And I've asked the question, how do you guys meet? Online dating, right? And I've even asked the lady, like, and she goes, boys, you know what? The picture was a bit deceiving. You know, them man, they ain't got this. In real life, you didn't have the confidence to approach that lady. So I'm saying it's damaging on many levels.
Okay.
Online dating is damaging.
Okay. Can I come in?
Go for it.
So are you just a bit upset that because now these men who are not alpha males are able to get really good-looking women when they didn't have to do all the things that they should have done, have the game, have the president, all this. So they're actually stepping on your toes a bit because you are no. Because they didn't have the game to get this woman in any other natural way. So what they've done now is they've used keyboard warrior skills to attract somebody.
Yeah.
So, but they've attracted, you can attract people, but how do you keep somebody? You have to have the ability to keep somebody. After those keyboard skills go, there has to be conversation.
They built up rapport. They got in there in a way that they would never have got that close.
Okay, so are we saying that women are not intelligent enough to understand that someone is keyboard worrying them and it's fake rapport? You're saying?
You're putting words in my mouth. Let's stick to one thing. Let's stick to Ace's toes has been stepped on. No. You're trying to draw me up tonight. But my toes are not being stepped on. I'm highlighting as an intellectual guy what's going on out there. So for women to go, raw, for real, you got to understand the levels. There's a lot of men out there that can't go out and present themselves in public with the skills, the conversation to approach a woman. That's one point. And I don't think that the online dating thing is even, if you take it to another level. So you got big men out there who ain't got the keyboard warriors. Then you got these youngsters, which we're gonna, I'm kind of jumping the gun, but we're gonna see from the clips. Yeah, they're now coming into a world where they don't know anything else.
Yes.
And they actually, which was one of the things that uncovered with you out doing the clips, is that these youngsters don't know anything else apart from a world of online dating and dating apps. Now that is very worrying.
Should we play that next clip?
We'll get to it, but it's very worrying from a psychological point of view. Right? It's very worrying from a sociology point of view, being able to have those social skills. These social skills are being lost. These soft skills are being lost. And whether you agree with me or not, and whether I sit here and look like a madman or not, I know what I'm saying.
I know what you're saying, but I don't think that they're being lost, because I think it's just an introduction. I understand what you're saying, But doesn't this give that smaller man the chance that he wouldn't have? Doesn't this give these people the opportunity to talk to women that they wouldn't be able to go up and approach like you would? Doesn't it give them the opportunity? Doesn't it give them the opportunity?
That's not the only concern I have. One more concern I'm gonna have, and this show's we're going way off script, you know, as usual. We got way off script tonight, yeah, right. We meant to blast through about 4 clips already, yeah. But I say it, God, yeah. Work, we are work, and a chicken, we are jerk. But one more point I want to make about these online dating apps, yeah, because I've got a lot of thing for them. And my thing is this, right? Remember, 2 things I want to make. You said it's either or. Well, I'm always that guy that thinks outside the box and think, well, let's think of a third one.
Okay.
It doesn't have to be that. We could create our own alternatives. And by the way, I'm going to be creating my alternatives just to put it out there. Ace Got Talk, I'm going to be bringing out my own online dating app, right? And I'm also going to be bringing out, look at her face. All right, give me a hand. We are going to be bringing out our online dating app, and we're going to be bringing out our own dating websites. Guys, by the way, if any of you out there are single and you want to get coupled up there, you can send us an email. What's the email address?
Ask us at the-lovezone.co.uk.
Boom. And we're going to start doing some matchmaking things, yes? But when you see me, because Ace Got Talk, I'm not only the online dating thing, I'm in all the socializing thing, seeing. So after when this COVID thing kind of slow down and we can get back out, we're going to be holding some Love Zone events. Yes, speed dating events where you can come, you know, it's what them black, what's it, what them call it, black tie. We have to put on your bow tie and your suit and thing, and we're going to come out and you can eat our food and, you know, all our dance, and we're going to do some speed date with it, because that's my alternative. I'm not into the keyboard warrior thing. I mean, say, come out in our real life, and we're going to socialize in the real life. So we're going to have our own things popping on the love dating thing. But the only other thing I want to say about these websites, for anyone that doesn't want to agree with Ace on this point, right, about why I don't like them, is, by the way, they're biased. Yeah, so just like in our real life, we're suffering from all types of institutionalized, with the same, and it's been facts. Anyone don't believe me, you can go and Google it now. And these dating websites, do you know they're actually biased towards black women? Did you know that? And they've done so many polls and so many straws to say that black women are less. Yeah, I'll say it because it's a fact, and you can go and Google it. They say that black women are less favorable on these dating websites, and even the way the AI tech is designed and the way it's coded and it's biased against you. So for all those people that are still out there, you know, chanting these websites, yeah, they're not for us and they're not by us and they don't favor us, and that's a fact. And you can go and do your research. So yeah, that's go on. You want to say something?
I would like to hear from some black women who are on dating websites if they found it so that they've been less favored.
You diluted my point.
No.
It doesn't matter what they found. The numbers speak for themselves. Yeah? It doesn't matter what you found. You could have found the love of your life on there. I'm still saying, and there are people, as we know, that have found the love of their life. Isn't that a good thing? No, listen carefully. We know there's people that found the love of their life on those websites.
Yes.
Fact. But it still doesn't take away the point, what I just made, which is those websites are biased and those numbers speak for themselves. And it's not me that said that. I'm giving you their own words, their own reports that I'm giving you, because I'm Ace Got Talk through the maths. Let's have the next clip.
I want to know, who are they? And do we believe them?
Hey, I'm gonna do. I'm gonna, I'm gonna ball out now. You know that. But engineer.
And what do you think?
I say yes. I mean, it's like you said, it's like it depends what you're looking for. If you're looking for a long-term relationship, I feel like you can drive the conversation with that person to make him know that that's what you want. If you're looking for like a guy just to like have fun with, have sex with, then you can find that. I feel like some people struggle finding like a long-term relationship online, but it just kind of depends on the kind of person you are, and just that's what it is, really.
So you're saying what you do is you can use questions to find out actually how that person is and what they actually want, to stop yourself from wasting time.
Yeah, I don't like waste my time. Like after a few conversations, I was like, I need to ask them questions. I'm like driving, like, do you wanna have a long-term relationship? Do you wanna have kids? Do you wanna get married eventually? I think those are the kind of questions you have to ask people.
How do you feel about that?
I think, again, she's saying what she does is ask people. You know, she finds out about that person, asks them what they want. She uses questions because she doesn't want her time wasted. So she asks them questions even before going to meet them. What is it you're looking for? Do you want a relationship? Or you're just looking for something casual? What do you think?
Let's have the next clip.
Okay.
Let's have the next clip. We're going to run through these ones and we'll conclude.
Okay.
Volume.
Can't hear me.
Can't hear anything.
You can't hear anything.
on these apps.
Yeah, I think it is now.
Yeah.
No one's confident to like just meet someone in a bar and just. I think
Can you put
people
it up?
meet someone in a bar and a club, but do you really want to meet someone in a club?
And do you think then? Do you think then it's a faster way to find out what somebody wants than doing it the traditional way?
What's the traditional way?
Like meeting somebody. Well, it's interesting you say that. Isn't it? What's the traditional way? Because is this like the normal way to meet people then on these apps?
Yeah, I think it is now.
Yeah.
No one's confident to like just meet someone in a bar and just. I think people meet someone in a bar and a club, but do you really want to meet someone in a club? And I don't know. But you know what? I have met a few guys at clubs and bars and pubs and stuff like that, and they do come and approach me and they do have conversations with me. In the beginning, they were like, "Hey, how are you? Would you like me to buy your drink and stuff like that?" And you know, I feel like they use that approach to make you feel a little bit more, let your guard down and stuff, and like make you a bit more approachable.
See, very interesting clip. I mean, those young ladies. Shout out to those two beautiful young ladies. Thanks for all your comments. I thought that was a very interesting clip because you said to the young ladies, you know, do you prefer to meet on the dating apps or the traditional way? And they look about 20 years old each. And she was like, what's the traditional way?
Yes.
And that is my point exactly. We've now got a generation that's all they know. Like, what's it? I need to find a man. That's all they know. And to me, I think that is worrying. What's the traditional way? I think that's worrying. And what's your point? What do you think?
I agree with you. I mean, as you saw in the clip when I said that to her, and when she said, you know, it made me like, oh, wow. So this is the norm for you. Yeah. And I think it's the same with people of an older generation. They struggle on these sites because it's not the norm for them to meet people that way. So it is worrying. I understand what you're saying, but it is what's here. And so
this is where I was waiting for you. Carry on, carry on.
It's what's here. So we need to try and educate. I mean, what she's saying is this. When she meets men in the bar,
Just,
okay.
We had the traditional way.
Yes.
And now you're saying it's what's here. And I think, and I'm just going way off, but I'm tapped. People always got to accept, well, this is what's here, so we have to make the most of it. Well, this is what's here. Why? Why do we? Why do we?
Because that's what happens.
No,
Years ago.
Sorry, should we check? Because we're sheep.
No.
Because
No.
we're sheep.
Years ago, remember, women weren't allowed to even be in a company of a man, were they? Unless they had a chaperone with them and things like that. It moves on.
No. We are told how it moves on, and a lot of us just willingly accept it. Now, let me land. There's a middle ground here, because it's not black and white. You had the traditional way, we've got the online dating apps, and then we've got people like yourself. You said, oh, I agree with Yvonne Michelle. It's not either or. Why? Why do we have to accept? Why do we have to say it's moved on? Why not create your own lane? Say, well, I don't want that. I'm not happy with that. I don't like interacting like that. That's not the way I want to interact. Hence why I said, it's got talk. As soon as this COVID thing done, for those of you that don't want to interact online, you're not in a keyboard warrior thing, and you want to come out and eat our food and drink our drink and while I dance and interact the old school way, with a little bit, the love zone, we're going to start our own thing. Yeah, speed dating. Ace got talk way. Well, but you're not invited because you like the keyboard warrior thing. You can stay at home on your computer. You can stay at home on your computer. You're not invited.
Why does it have to be that you are just forcing people to be a certain way? Why can't you have a bit of both?
I'm forcing people.
Yes, you are, because
I'm forcing people. Are you serious?
Yes, because you're saying now. You're
wow.
saying.
So
no,
me just
hold on.
fire.
Let me finish. What you're actually saying now is this: should only be this way. There are some people who are comfortable doing it that way. We have options.
No, you're not hearing me. And I'm really offended by that because you done that about 2 weeks ago. You threw me under the bus.
I'm
And
not
now
throwing you under the bus.
Me, I force people. I'm trying to open people's eyes up to the fact that as the narrative change, you don't just need to change with the tide. That's not forcing people. That's me saying, stop, think for yourself. So you're saying, this has been put in front of us. Let's go that direction.
No.
I'm saying,
No.
why do we have? Yes, you did. You've been saying the whole show.
No,
I'm saying,
no, I haven't. I'm saying it is an option. It is an option that is being used.
and I'm saying it's not an option. It's not an option.
There you go. This is what I'm saying.
not an
You're
option.
closing it down, and I'm saying we're not to close it down. There are some people who have met their married partners on these sites.
That's true.
So
That's
what are we
true.
saying then?
That's true.
So I'm saying give people the option. If we are going to do a lovely dating thing, come for dinner, come for dance, I am 100% with you.
Yeah.
I'm 100% with you.
You like the sound of that one?
I
there,
like the
though?
sound of
You
that.
like the sound of
I
that
like
one?
the sound of
that one that sounds sweet, though.
but we also have to be very much aware that there are some people who are comfortable using these apps and have done so successfully. So we can't just say, whiteboard, it's not going to happen.
No, we have to. No, I didn't say it's not going to happen. We have to be also aware that these people have only been doing this in the last 10 years, and the human beings have been on this planet for hundreds of thousands of years, and they've managed to successfully mate and find lifelong partners and have kids without these dating apps. So I'm saying we're now living in a world where every part of our life is dominated by AI tech, and now even down to how we meet people is dominated by AI tech, and I've got a problem with that, and I stand by that, and I say bun fire upon that, 'cause I'm old school.
I hear you, but I think it's quite a closed way of looking at things, and I try to look at things a little bit more open. I'm saying that people have choice. Shall we see the next thing?
Next clip. You're not easy, you know.
Would you say you prefer to do it online or to meet somebody in a bar or something like that?
I can't say for sure. I
Okay.
think, like, for me at this moment, it's really hard to meet honest people these days. Really.
Okay. And what do you prefer?
Because the kind of person I am. Actually, like, I would like to meet someone face to face because it's more easier. Like, they've seen you the first date, they've seen you, but online you have to like build it. You have to like make them like you, all that
Okay.
kind of stuff.
But you know what? I prefer building that character because you want to actually get to know what kind of stuff they talk to, what kind of stuff they're into. That's like you kind of like knowing them and then find out what kind of stuff they like, who they are. You can actually like look for them on Facebook and see like if they're really dating, because obviously you meet someone face to face and you think, oh, he's a really good guy, we can talk and stuff like that. You don't really like research him, stuff like that. But when you go on stuff like online dating, you can research him really. You can find out stuff he likes. All those little details he gives you, you can actually find stuff like that online.
Interesting. So two mates, completely contrasting opinions.
There we go. So this is what I'm saying. Give them the options, not fire burn pun that. That doesn't make any sense. There are people who want to use it, and there are people who don't. So let's have both. Let's educate people, yeah, on the right way to use things, you know. And these girls are saying. One of them says she prefers to meet someone face to face. The other one says, I prefer to find out about that person, to build that character, find out who that person is before going any further. So two opposing things. So we know that we need choice.
This is frightening because no matter how much I try to labor this point, I don't think you are getting it, right? So what I'm trying to say, right, which you're still not understanding, is that choice is a manufactured. It's not real. It's not real.
You can't say it's not real
I
if
can.
people have met their partners
Listen
and
to me now.
have successful marriages.
Listen to-
How can it not be real?
Because you keep jumping in, so you're never going to
Okay,
hear
sorry.
it. You
You-
hear the
you
word
carry
real
on.
and you bit my head off.
Sorry, carry
Listen
on.
carefully,
Mhm.
right? Because it's things like that that really dilute my point.
Okay.
So I'll try again. And I need to say, look, I'm not saying people have not met people online and formed lifelong relationships and got married. I know them.
Okay.
Yeah, Nicola, who was on our show last week, she's
Absolutely.
one of them. She's coming on
Yes.
the show next week to talk about the
Absolutely.
fact that she met her partner online.
Absolutely.
That's not what I'm talking about.
Okay.
Listen to me carefully. Even what that young girl said, oh, I can research people, I could this and that. That's not real. Like, we're living in a world where things can be manipulated, right? Watch this. I could make up a company. I could make up a profile. I could make up a Facebook. I could make up a full site. People do it all the time. People lie. People make up full profiles, all of that rubbish online. So all of that sitting there, I'm researching this guy because he said his name this and he said this. It's a facade. That is not real. It's in the, let me finish. It's in the digital world. It's in fairyland. When I meet you face to face, yeah, I'm saying that people like myself, yeah, shout out to all the empaths, shout out to all the indigo children, people like myself that deal with feelings and energy and vibes. I can meet you in the bar and say, good afternoon, how you doing, sweetie? Would you like a drink? And I can spend 5 minutes having a conversation with you, and I know who you are. I can feel your energy, your aura. You pick up certain things from people. You can't pick that up online by doing research. Oh yeah, here, let me look at his Facebook. Let me see if he's got a girlfriend. Let me see if he's got any pictures of his kids. That is it's a delusional world that is being created for you. If you want this, call it the Matrix. So yeah, I will say again, number one, fire upon that. Yeah, online dating. It doesn't mean that some people don't meet online and are successful. Yeah, I didn't say, you're saying give them the choice. I didn't say people shouldn't have the choice. What I'm saying is that we do things a particular way and somebody comes along and creates an alternative and then we say, oh, we've got choice. And people buy into that alternative and it's them buying into that alternative that drives the alternative. Yeah, and I'm saying, why not have our own alternative? And the same things that you've said, every woman I know got some beautiful women. Let me make that clear. I know some beautiful women, and I know some beautiful women that are successful, they're career driven, they're financially stable, they own their own properties, they got everything going for them, and they can't find a man. And a lot of them are on these dating sites, and they say all the same things to me that you've said. So you can't tell me anything I ain't heard. I've done this for a year on radio. They say, Ace, where do I meet the man of my dreams? I work, I come home, I don't go out, I'm not really into raving. So I understand there's not an alternative because if you're not a person to jump up in a rave, where do I meet people? But I'm saying, why not create our own alternative? Why can't we think outside the box? Why can't we say, do you know what? For real, there is nowhere to date. There is nowhere to, let's create it. Rather, oh, well, give them the choice. Online dating, what these AI sites that don't even like you anyway, that discriminate against you anyway. Yeah, their stats said it. Their stats said it. Black women are less favorable. That's a fact. That's why I can say it so confidently on TV. Go and Google it. So what I'm saying, I'm not saying people shouldn't have a choice. I'm saying when the choice is slim and there's only A or B, well, I want C. What about D and E and G? Right? I like doing things this way. If we can't do it that way, let's manufacture the way you want it. And that's my argument. I always say that on online dating. I don't think it should just go, oh, I want to find a woman. Let me go tap, tap, tap. Like. I'm not into that. I want to sit down and have a drink. I want to have a conversation. After, sometimes you meet someone, you buy a drink, you have 5 minutes, you think, You might look at someone and think they're nice. 5 minutes having a drink. And it's just, look after yourself. Nice to meet you, bro. You already made up. On to the next one. How many? I'm going to spend weeks online messaging you.
Okay.
My point made?
I've heard your point, and your point has been made very, very clearly.
Mm-hmm.
However, everything you said is correct.
Thank you.
However,
hallelujah. Praise the Lord.
No, but however, the only thing I don't know about, because I haven't Googled and I don't really follow statistics, because statistics is what they want you to understand, what they say. I don't follow that. I will go by people, what they talk to me and what they say. Fire on statistics as far as I'm concerned. 2, I keep going back to the point of this. It is an introduction. I get with you when you're saying you meet somebody and you'll know there's a connection, there's a vibe, there's a spiritual link, and you'll know about that person. Okay? I understand that. That's why these sites are just an introduction. People who have met their partners on these sites and are very, very happy have said they may never met that person. Because that person's just like, how many miles away from them? They would have never met them. So that has just been an introduction. The universe, if you like, because the universe will use whatever means it's necessary to bring people together. I am not saying that we should all just follow that path. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying it's there. It's an option to be used. Also, you said when people meet people on there and they're researching, people do that anyway. You can meet a man in a park. You can meet a man in a bar. They still go online and try and research. So it's exactly the same thing. If people are going to go home and research, they're going to go home and research. So that has nothing to do with the dating website at all. So I just think Alternatives D, E, F, G, yes, bring them on. Also allow people the choice, because if you meet somebody and you're happy with that person and you've met them from a dating website, I can never say that it's wrong, because that made that person happy. And that is my point. My point understood? Received?
Received. Received. Ricardo?
Oh, the next clip. Francesco.
Francesco.
Yeah.
So, next clip is from a gentleman
Thank
called
you for being
Francesco.
part of the Love Zone today.
No,
I just
black
wanted
screen,
to
no
ask
image.
you, Love Zone today. Thank you, Francesco.
Black screen.
Hi, Francesco. Thank you for being part of the Love Zone today. I just wanted to ask
Got no
you
screen,
your
no
opinion.
video.
Wanted to ask you. I just wanted to ask.
Start again. Perfect.
Hi, Francesco. Thank you for being part of the Love Zone today. I just wanted to ask you your opinion on dating websites. Are you for it or against it?
There is no really for it or against it. There is a sort of a middle ground for me. I did use it in the past, and sometimes I do use it on my board even now. But fact is, I'm an I believe of the old school, and what the universe will synchronize the path with your, lover and yourself. That kind of be at the right spot at the right time and meeting that person like a pack of pasta dropped into the floor, you pick it up, and there's that girl in there, oh, hi, hello. It's all that kind of body language rather than be on a candy shop and then choose your candies and then become you sort of create a thing in your brain and you become choosy, and it's already a lot of choices out there because we live in London. You want to get laid tonight, and with a blonde you can do that, or with a beautiful tan lady, then you can do that as well. It's you can, you can. But the thing is, then you become choosy and you become sort of a, shall we say that word, a little bit addicted to that. So yeah, that's what I really feel about it.
I really want to thank Francesco for that clip. See, he made an interesting point, and I was going to say it. I was thinking it, but I thought I'm going to say it because I want to put it out there. I think it's important for the show. When you talked about dating websites and the people that have met them, the love of their life in a dating website, I'm a strong believer in the universe. And I'm a strong believer if that you put out, that's what you want to meet, it will come to you. That person will come to you through whatever circumstance. That same person that you met on the dating website, you're not meeting them at the airport. You're actually beside them on the plane. That person, if the universe is meant to bring that person, it will bring it to you. You know, and I teach those skills. Yeah, tapping back into self and channeling and projecting what you do, right? As opposed to, I need to find someone. She looks nice. Another point I think one of the people said in that video, which I thought was brilliant. Francesco, he goes, "There's no right or wrong. I've used dating websites, but I use them when I'm bored. I love that." He goes, "Oh, I'm bored. I'll go on a dating website." So that just shows you what kind of men that are using it when they're bored. Yeah.
Thank you again, Francesco, for that clip. It's not just men who use it when they're bored. Women most probably use it when they're bored. Yes, but
you know what? You sound like an advocate of dating websites.
It's not an advocate. It's a reality. There are dating websites that exist. I know members of my family who've met their partners through that. And they're extremely happy. So I can't just go and say, no, they're all crap, they're all wrong, but it's not true. It is not true. So we have to be aware. We have to be aware when we're using these things. Yes, there are false people on there, but there are false people that you might meet in a bar.
Yeah.
I think we have to, one point that he said on there is like a candy shop. And I do hear that quite often, that, people are just getting very, very choosy because they're spoilt for choice. I understand that part. And I think that's a dangerous part of it. Or if you become addicted, like he said, that's the danger part of it. So it's about using things responsibly.
And then you got serial daters. That's another. We're gonna do a show on that, serial daters. I touched on this a couple of weeks ago, but you got women that are going out on serial dates. They're literally off of these dating apps. These dating apps. They're just dating. They're out every night eating a free plate of food, lobster and crab. You know what I mean? Tomorrow's steak. Nah. So there's a lot going on that we're not talking about. You know what I mean? There's a darker side to all of this as well.
We can cover that next week, I think.
Well, not next week, but we will go into that, yeah. You know, and gold diggers, right? We're gonna talk about those as well.
I think you just messed up. Should we have the next clip?
Next clip.
I'm honest. Sometimes in a boredom, you got a weakness, you can do that, and you know, all right, oh, to the left, right, you know, like, you know, Tinder, plenty of fish, or there is, you name it, you know. But I tend to, my opinion is that the quality, it's like a time wasting for me, honestly.
But if you're a quality person yourself, do you not think that it's possible to meet quality people on these sites?
You can invest time and ask questions. Yes, I do think you can do that. You got to be extremely honest with yourself when you do the when you explain yourself who you are, and take the pictures as you are, because sometimes you can choose beautiful pictures of you of 10 years old, and then you create a date, and then you're just going to waste time, your time and my time, and time is money, you know. So you just have very old pictures of you, like 10 years back, when I used to be beautiful and my hair was like, you know, and then, you know, they see like, actually, you're not that person that I think, you know. Trust me, it happened.
Well, thank you. Thank you for your answers for the Love Zone.
Honestly. Hopefully you like it.
Brilliant. I mean, I really want to thank Francesco once again for his comments. I think he more or less mirrored a lot of the things I said, maybe just not as passionately, but he was talking about, you know, swipe, plenty of fish, those websites being a waste of time. And I don't think he was really championing the whole online dating. And for me, he mentioned another interesting point, and it's true. And this is, like I said, I'm old school. Like, I like to, you know, see what you're getting, and that's, you know, see what you're getting, and I mean that in the nicest possible way. But these filters, and all of these selfies, and these filters, and these airbrush pictures, like you said, people putting pictures of themselves 10 years ago when they were slim and trim. Now you put on a few pounds, and you want to. I'm not in it. You know, back in the days, I've been on all of that. You know, going on dates, and then, you know, the lady that turns up isn't what wasn't what you was expecting.
You've been through that. What do you mean?
You're not doing
You
it.
just said what you mean. You said you've been through that. I don't understand.
You're not doing it. You're not doing it now.
You just now said I've been through it, and the lady that turned up, that is not.
But blind date. I've been on a blind date.
Okay.
I've been on a few blind dates.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Back in the days. And
Okay.
I wasn't really happy.
Okay. Okay.
I'm saying, right. Yeah, I'm saying a lot of these filters and these pictures and these selfies that people are putting up of themselves, it's not the true likeness of themselves. Do you know what I mean?
Yes, but as you just now said, it happens on a blind date without the dating.
This is why I don't do blind dates.
But what I'm actually saying to you is, I agree with you. People are not always honest, but there's a thing called FaceTime. Yeah. So once you've selected somebody, I guess you can FaceTime them to find out if that is that person, what they really do look like, before you go and meet them.
You sound like a pro, man.
I am just a realist. If you had done a FaceTime with your blind date before you said,
well, then it would be a blind date.
But wouldn't that have been better for you? Then your time wouldn't have been wasted.
Yeah, but we didn't have FaceTime in those days. That's why we had blind dates.
How long were we talking about then? How many years we
got
going back?
One more clip to show. We're running out of time. We've got about 5 minutes to run. We're literally running out of time. This has been completely off script, but we got through it in there. We got one last clip from a gentleman called
Steve.
I want to really thank Steve for his clip and his comments on online dating? Come on, Steve.
Lovely. Dating sites. Well, where'd you start? They're good when they work, but the only problem with them is there's just so many fake people on there and scammers that just want to take your money and just, I don't know, for want of a better word, just bloody wind you up, don't they? Because, but you know, I suppose that's the way it is these days. You have to take the good with the bad. But yeah, they're not good. Go back to the old-fashioned way. That's what I say. But I think those days are long.
Absolutely fantastic. I'll say it's one for the lads tonight. Do you know what I mean?
Not one for the
Definitely
lads.
One for
Like,
the
what are you
lads
talking
tonight.
about? No.
Steve said, go back to the old-fashioned way.
But he also said at the end of it, but I think those days are long gone.
well, not if I got anything to do with it. Steve says, go back to the old-fashioned way. And he said there's a lot of time wasters and a lot of gold diggers that just want to take your money. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So I think, and if Fred, it's one for the lads tonight.
It's not one for the lads
right, one
tonight
for
at
the
all. No,
lads.
it's not one for the lads at all. Because you can find these fake men who want to tell you all kinds of stories about how they're this and how they're that. And then you find out that they're not at all.
But that's not.
So-
but no one said that tonight. We're talking about dating websites, yes or nay, and the general consensus, right, by all the clips that we played, and then by the discussion between you and me, the general consensus, majority rules is myself, Francesco, and Steve are all against dating websites, and we all
so we're only looking at the men's view?
We said we'd do it the old-fashioned way.
No, hold on. So we're only looking at the men's
We'd
view.
rather take you out
So
for a date.
we're only talking
then
about the
tap,
men's
tap,
view.
like.
You didn't mention what the women said.
No, I'm just talking about generally the majority. I'm talking about the majority. It's not a man and woman thing.
Well, there were 3 men clips.
You.
No. You cannot say it's the majority. As far as I'm concerned,
Oh,
and I will not be
oh,
moved on this.
You will not be moved.
I will not be moved on this. It works for some, and if that's what they want, and it has worked for them, then it's all good.
I love it. We how long have we got? I got literally, I think it's about a couple of minutes left. Do you want to tell the listeners at home, guys? I hope we've had a blast tonight. You know, don't worry, we're gonna kiss and make up soon as the show's over. You know what I mean? Aren't we? No. I just kiss, no makeup. I never kiss, no makeup. Right. So but no, we're all good. Blast, she's wearing me out. You know what I mean? You're hard work. You are. You know what I mean? But this is beautiful because it just shows how different men and women think. And this is the dynamics of the show. This was real life, real people, real conversations. Go on.
What I think what's come out of that is that people, they can be fake. Yeah, they can be fake on there. So it is something to be aware of.
Well, no,
Yeah,
I think you railroaded my point.
Have I railroaded your point?
The point is not the point.
No,
the
I'm
point is
saying
simple.
just to be aware. If you are using these dating sites, it's to be aware. But it's like if you meet anybody, you need to be aware.
Well, my point is simple. Fireban the dating website and do it the old school way. Do you know what I mean?
Thank you.
And my point is this, right? If you want to, like I said, I want to leave this one. I've got some time because I've got a couple of minutes. Right? I said to a young lady yesterday, I said to her, and it's funny, she said she's looking for her life partner, right? And I pulled her and stuck her straight in front of the mirror. I said, do you really want to find your life partner? She said, yeah, Ace. I said, do you really want to find your life partner? She said, yeah, Ace. I asked her 3 times. I said, do you really want to find your life partner? She said, yeah, Ace. I said, there you go. Look at the mirror. There's your life partner.
Yes.
So for me, Ace got talk. In this world, the first person you should fall in love with is yourself. And the first person you should marry is yourself. And when you love yourself, and I don't mean like in a, oh, I love myself, but when you actually start to just, we talked about that, what is loving yourself? We covered that on 2 shows ago, how to start loving yourself, because when you love yourself, it's easier to find love, you know, because what you can't give what you don't have. And I think it's firstly just best to start by working on yourself and loving yourself and projecting that. And love would naturally be attracted towards you, you know, sometimes, and a lot of time, another thing I'm going to leave this on because Ace got to work me, I'll work. And I chicken me, I jerk. Another thing I say to people, all of these keyboard warriors that are on these dating sites looking for love, I will say, what can you bring to the table? Because it's easy to say, I want a man like this, I want a man like that. And men, balance, to say, I want a woman like this and I want a woman like that. But you got to check yourself and say, before you start looking at what you want, ask yourself this question. What can you give? Let me slow it down for him. We're wrapping up here. I'll say it one more time. Before asking yourself, before saying, what do you want to look for in a partner? Ask yourself, what can I give? What can I bring to a relationship? What do I bring to the table? And start stacking up that. Because the more value you can actually add to the relationship is the more value you're going to find in the partner that you end up being with. Ace got talk tech word.
I agree. It's about the quality, and it's about the quality of yourself, and it's about knowing who you are. Yeah. And it's about being educated. Yeah. And understanding what you're using, why you're using it. Yeah. As I said to Francesco, and guys, thank you so much for your clips. Really appreciate them. But he said, you can find quality people if you invest the time. And it's right away across the board, whether you're meeting them on a dating app or not. Invest the time into yourself, know who you are, know your wants and your needs. Therefore, when you're choosing that person, you will get the best, because you will be looking at yourself and looking at them, and do we fit? Do we match? Have you got what I need?
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Guys, join us back here next week, same time, same place. If you've got any relationship questions, any dilemmas, if you want to send us any little stories that you want to find, a little funny relation, you met a cray online, you tell us your funny online dating stories. You might have met the love of your life online. Send us your emails, message us, say, look, hey, I met the love of my life online. I'm the happily married, 3 kids, whatever the story is. Send us your emails. Where can they find us?
Yes, send them to askus@the-lovezone.co.uk.
Also, you can follow myself, Ace Got Talk on Instagram. You can also follow our Love Zone page, which is
The Love Zone 2020.
The Love Zone 2020. And guys, if you guys want to send any relationship videos or clips for next week, you can send them to the WhatsApp number, which is trailing on the screen below. You can also post your clips on Instagram and hashtag us at
Ask Us.
Ask Us. And the question that we're asking next week is...
Well, I think we're continuing this.
And next week, our guest, Nicola Carr, she actually, to add yin and yang, she found the love of her life, her lifelong partner online.
Online? Funny. Online.
On where?
On the fire, burn on it. That's where she found it.
So she's going to be here next week to tell us your stories. Until then, stay. But she always says, I didn't get to say goodbye. Go on, say goodbye.
Goodbye, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning into the Love Zone. Hope to see you next week.
Brilliant, brilliant, brilliant. Thanks, guys. See you next week. Till then, stay blessed. Salute. Yeah. Salute.